Hello and hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jmorrow bringing you a replay today between QuanticStC and a player by the name thecoolman. I'm actually not sure who this actually is. I tried to look around. This is not from a specific tournament. I've never seen the name online. I tried to search around a little bit. I'm sure somebody will let me know who he is. I'm sure it's somebody at least semi-famous. But let's go ahead and jump into this game. This is actually on Battle.net, so we do see gold here, and of course they are spawned in the most awkward spots ever. But here we go. So spawning down here in the bottom left corner, we do have thecoolman as our blue Zerg. Spawning up here in the top right, we do have STC or QuanticStC as our red Terran. Spawning up in the 3 o'clock, if I can do time or math, one or the other. But the reason a lot of people complain about this map on ladder is right here. This Overlord, at about the 1 minute 45 second or even earlier, is going to see the STC's base. And he's actually going to get really good vision, going to be able to see what exactly the STC is up to. And that also gives away vision, or that also gives a lot of information back to STC about, you know, what thecoolman is doing. This is going to be really confusing, but I'm just going to call him thecoolman because, you know, it sounds like some kind of jazz station or something. But we'll have to see. I mean, Jazzman, I almost called him Jazzman. Coolman is probably more than likely going to go for a hatch first. There's no reason not to. Even after seeing how close his opponent is, there's no reason not to. And you know what? How handsome is this guy? He's extremely handsome. Not only is he cool, he's handsome. He's actually not going to give STC the bonus of seeing his Overlord. Notice how he saw his opponent's base, and now he's going to pull the Overblack. He knows where his opponent is. He can actually send a drone scout now if he wants to, but he's just going to expand. And actually, there's no point in drone scouting, but the point is, he knows where STC is. STC does not know where he is, and it looks like we do actually have a command center first from the STC, even on ladder, where he doesn't know where his opponent is. Kind of interesting. Of course, gold in the middle. Yuck. But overall, you know, still a great map. Problem is now, in a little bit here, when thecoolman takes his third base, STC can basically siege tank and, you know, drop back and forth. But hopefully we won't get into that. It looks like we are actually going to have our first barracks coming down next to the command center. Such a great opening. Love watching stuff like this because it just makes me think, what is the STC going to do now? I'm curious to see if he's going to take any gas guys this year. I really want to see mech. I haven't had a good mech replay in a while. I really like watching it, but it looks like STC is opening with 2 racks. More than likely a third barracks will go down here shortly, unless he wants to go 2 racks into mech, which I've seen a couple times. Not the most popular build, but it's still pretty strong overall. STC is going to scout the top left corner. That is not going to benefit him whatsoever. Right now, STC does actually have his first barracks just about done. Going to drop down in orbital quickly here. And then is he going to start getting gas here? Is he going to start building extra barracks? I really want to know what STC is up to. As far as thecoolman goes, spawning pool is just about to finish. No gas on the way, and doesn't look like he's opting to take a third. He does have 500 or 430 minerals. The first queen is on its way out. Second queen on the way out. There we go. He's going to start eating up some of those minerals now. And so just kind of macroing up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. STC is going to scout the bottom left base next, and that's going to do absolutely nothing for him. Once STC sees nothing on the low ground and sees that it's the 4-minute mark, he knows that his opponent is down in the bottom right. There are 2 Zerglings out on the field. Looks like 2 additional ones are being brought out here. And notice where he's positioning them, because what happens when an SCV tries to go up the ramp here? It's going to hug this wall here. And what is STC doing? Or excuse me, what is thecoolman doing? Putting his Zerglings over here. Here comes STC, going to go up the ramp here. Let's see what his vision is. And it looks like he is going to see the hatchery on the low ground. Is he going to see anything else? He does see the queen on the low ground, which gives him a little bit of information about the timing of those. There we go. Looks like he's getting double gas in his main. And as for the STC, he has started mining gas, just making primarily Marines, actually getting a full wall off using these supply depots now. Nice transition, nothing too crazy going on, and I really want to know when is this factory going to come down and if he's going to do anything else. There is a barracks landing over here, so it looks like we're going to stay on barracks tech, or excuse me, biotech for just a little bit longer here, just bringing a couple of extra Marines. And it looks like, oh, 4 Marines are actually on the field, 5 Marines. Oh, thecoolman actually throwing away 3 Zerglings here. Oh, very nice micro by STC, and now STC can actually cross the field. Lair is on the way. This is something that's becoming extremely prevalent in this matchup overall. It looks like actually threw away the last Zergling as well, and now the STC is going to walk up to his opponent's base, and really, I mean, thecoolman does have queens, which are wonderful. How many queens does he have? Actually, 3 on the field. So hopefully STC will not catch any sort of overlords out of position. There's the factory, there's a tech lab and reactor as well. But here come the Marines. They're not going to do anything at this point because these 3 queens are so boss. Queens do so much damage, have such great range. But now, you know, he's kind of thrown off his opponent's larva timing by just a little bit, nothing too crazy. And one of my favorite things, where is it? Here it is. From what I've seen from Team Liquid, actually, that was one of the first players to see it, was Zanyo, was to get this Roach Warren during the mid-game against a Terran opponent. Reason being, it helps you hold off certain timings, especially involving a lot of bio units. Just getting like 6 or 7 Roaches out early on allows you to defend against certain timings that otherwise may kill you. And so, you know, it also helps against Hellion Harass, which is becoming extremely popular as always, but it does not look like that's going to be the case. Actually, excuse me, it looks like we are getting Glyle reconstruction as well, so we may stay on the roach stack a little bit longer than usual. It looks like STC is going to take a third command center over at the left-hand side here. Starport is on the way, and it looks like STC is going to stay primarily on bio. Nothing too crazy going on here. There is an Overlord in position here. STC already has a waypointed or a patrolling Marine ready to start shooting down that Overlord as soon as possible, and now 2 Hellions are out on the field. There are 4 roaches coming out, and now this is what's really interesting to watch. These Hellions will not do anything with these roaches out in the field. Actually, 9 roaches in production. May actually see some pressure applied. 10 roaches from the cool man here. Looks like he's going to be pushing out here with these. The Queens are actually doing a great job of denying the Hellions from doing anything. And now there are still 9 roaches in production. Not sure how many we have on the field right now. Already 4. We're going up to 20 here. How many more is he going to make? Burrow is on the way. Glower construction's almost done. And it looks like we have double engineering base coming out from the STC. We do actually have Stim just about done. Stim is going to be very important to hold off any roach timing. 4 Hellions are moving up here. They are going to be able to take out this Queen by themselves if they want to. And if the STC micros properly, can actually mitigate majority of the damage. Ooh, nice cancels from the cool man. It looks like he's trying to take a third here. Here come the roaches, though. I believe we have about 2016 on the field. The roaches do have roach speed now. They are off creep, so give them a second here. They're going to get their boosters on. And it looks like now roach speed is done. Circling speed is only a third of the way done, though. And now the STC knows what's up. Started Marauder production. Stim is on the way. Medevac Marines should be able to clean this up pretty easily. I mean, he's got a large amount of Marines on the low ground. But I think STC is a little bit worried about this pressure. I think he believes there's Banelings to follow it as well. But it's just roaches. And you might just say, well, there's a lot of roaches here. Yes, there are. And the STC is going to have a little bit of trouble holding this as long as, you know, the cool man doesn't do anything too crazy. Stim is now done. There is a siege tank on the way. Excuse me, siege mode is on the way. Forced to lift that command center, and there's the Stim. Actually, if the cool man pulls back here, it's very nice because there's only 2 medvacs in the field. He can't heal this up very quickly. The 3rd hatchery is on the way. There's an infestation pit, Banelings, and just droning up behind this. 53 drones to 47 SCVs. Very nice to down. Now the cool man can just pull back. Why not? There's a burrowed roach here, which is very frustrating to deal with. Look at the income right now. We are just about even, and look at this. The SCC is going to go, oh, come on, really? I can't land my command center? Yeah, that's absolutely right. The cool man did burrow a roach here. This is very frustrating to deal with, and he's actually going to try and take out the SCV building the missile turret. That's not going to happen. There are medevacs there to heal it, and this oh my god, this command center takes a ton of damage as well. STC getting a little bit caught out of position here, needs to reposition his units in between these 2 bases, but I think he's a little bit worried about how many units the cool man has in the field. Right now we do have pathogens on the way. Zergling speed is done, and we do have 20 Zerglings on the way. It looks like he's actually oversaturated his natural pretty bad. He needs to transfer, but it looks like STC is going to do a little bit of counter pressure here. There are 4 Hellions with this group, going to help, actually 5 Hellions, excuse me, going to try and push back some of these creep tumors. Could actually lift into the main here, and it looks like actually the STC is in a pretty good spot. Might actually push forward here, going up to the 3rd, and the cool man does catch him out of position. He needs to target down those Marauders as much as he can. The Hellions are starting to fall very quickly, but the Queen is starting to clean this up as well. Baneling speed is not done, I believe. Let me double check once these Banelings come out. Yeah, the Baneling speed is not done. There's the lift going up into the main. Now here's the catch part. STC's got to be careful. He cannot lose this drop. This is majority of his army. Looking at the army supply, only 29 on the field from STC, and this is about 20 to 30 of it right here. So got to be very careful from the STC not to lose this. There's a macro hatchery actually at the 3rd base coming out from our Zerg player, so pretty cool overall. No infestors are out yet. 8 are in production. Pathogen glands is done, and it looks like STC's kind of falling back, getting getting 1-1. Concussive shell is on the way, and just kind of spreading his gas everywhere. We do have some siege tanks. No major upgrades. He does have siege mode for him, and oh wow, look at the amount of barracks that are coming out on the field, going up to, it looks like 7, if I can do math, 8 barracks. He does have 1-1 on the way again, and now he's finally taking this 3rd back. There's the scan, cleaning up that last roach here, and the drop in the main. Oh no, cool man does actually see it now, and it looks like STC is gonna pull back. All those infestors are now done, and I think cool man's in a great spot here. He could actually go up to Hive, take a 4th base, and extend this game out as long as he wants to, but it's completely up to him. I mean, burrowed Banelings, very nice. Did the Watchtower see it? Ooh, they were actually out of the vision. So notice the position. A lot of people always wonder, well, how do you know where to put the Banelings? Well, just take a look right here, because the units are going to waypoint in a way. They're going to path around this edge right here. So these are in a great spot. Could actually take out. He needs to bait very well, though. And, it's going to be very hard for STC to be able to do anything about that. How many upgrades do we have actually coming out from Coolman? It looks like 0-0 are out for his Zerglings. How about his Roaches as well? 0-0? Wow. Baneling speed is on the way. There's the Hive, and it looks like he's getting another hatchery in the center of the base. There's the 4th base let's talk about, and a Hive. It looks like we do have a supply depot wall going off, and no repairs on this, surprisingly enough. That's a little bit... I mean, I would definitely just You gotta throw one guy in repair, not a big deal. And it looks like STC is going all over the place, getting upgrades for his vehicle weapons. Not even starting 2-2 though. That's what's kind of surprising me. It's making me wonder if he's gonna switch tech backwards, possibly going to vehicles, but more than likely not. He's still building Marauders, still building Marines, and his army composition is primarily Marines and Marauders. 34 Marines, 8 Marauders. And it looks like, actually, does STC know about this? Oh, he does know now. The rocks are down. It looks like he's going to flood up here. And this wall might actually go against the STC. And oh, there's that command center that's very, very low. Where are the Banelings? Oh, the Banelings are all burrowed on the way over here. Nice fungal growth. It looks like the Marauders are going to start targeting down some of these infestors. Where's the scan to try and pick off some of these infestors here? Oh, fungal growth on all those workers. We will take a look. 19 worker kills right now from the Coolman. Running down the ramp here, flooding into his opponent. Needs to be careful. Needs to retain as many of these infestors as possible. Could actually re-engage this here if he wanted to. Where's the fungal growth? Oh, misses it actually. Oh, there we go. Actually picking up quite a bit of units. Is he going to pull back into these Banelings? That would be so, so nice. And look at resources lost right now. It looks like they're actually even. But the thing to note is, right now, the Coolman is going up to Hive Tech, getting a Spire on forward base very comfortably. 5 hatcheries. And, you know, just in a really, really great spot overall. 1-1's about to finish. 56 Zerglings are in production. And here we go. STC is actually moving out on the map. There are burrow Banelings all over the place. So STC needs to be very, very careful not to walk into these. And it looks like, oh, the siege tanks are trying to fire. But these Marines are starting to die very, very quickly to these fungal growths. Nicely done by Coolman not to overextend those the infestors. He doesn't want to lose them as much as possible. He needs to retain them. And here comes the flood. The infestor eggs do go down. The burrowed Banelings didn't really come into play too much. But it looks like the Zerglings are flooding it. And the Coolman is just ravaging his opponent. It looks like the burrowed Banelings still have not come into play here. I'm waiting for STC to overextend and lose a bunch of units to this, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The Coolman's 4th base at the gold is now constructed. 38 Zerglings production, 2-2 on the way. And going back to STC's base, we do have 2-2 on the way. He's producing as many units as he can, only on 3 bases, and needs to get some extra command centers, but does not have the money to do so. Not sure where this guy's going. Burrowed Banelings are still here. There's no missile turrets actually in range. It's so close though. But overall, it looks like STC's in a pretty rough spot. Spire is now completing, going to go up to a greater Spire very quickly. Here's a drop over at the 3rd. Zerglings are going to start engaging on this very, very quickly. The medevac actually going to get taken out. No, it looks like it's actually going to get away. Excuse me, I thought there was an infestor on the way. But it looks like it is going to go away. Greater Spire on the way, 8-9. It looks like 9 Corruptors are on the way, so that's going to turn into a ton of Broodlords. 2-2 is now done for the STC. Is he going to have enough resources to go up to 3-3? It is really, really hard to tell at this point. And STC in a it's kind of an uncomfortable spot. He needs to decide, am I going to take a 4th? And there's the answer. He's going to build a 4th command center. Now, where is he going to position it, though? And it looks like the Queens are starting to target fire down. This is what I'm talking about. This is why this map is so frustrating on ladder, because you can just hop, skip, and jump all the way over. It looks like there was a Zerglings picked up an entire drop over here. The drop does get picked up last second, and now this drop will escape. Go into the main, it looks like. STC trying to do what he can to get back in this game, but it just doesn't look like the Coolman wants to let it happen. The Greater Spire is halfway done, mining from all these gas geysers, currently on 8 gas geysers, so that's like a Zerg's wet dream. The drop is heading over to the back of his main base. I doubt this will do too much damage. The Corruptors are here, and they're just going to dominate that guy. He's done. And now this one Marine could actually solo this entire area, but there's a Queen here, and the Queen's going to finish him off. STC is moving forward here. Banelings are still burrowed, not doing a whole lot, just kind of chilling out. And oh, nice fungal growth, weakening a lot of the units, draining a lot of the energy from the Vedex. It looks like, oh no, if there's a scan right now, the Coolman could lose so many infestors, but it's not going to happen. Is STC going to stem up this ramp? It looks like he's going to partially stem and actually target down the macro hatchery. We actually do have some transfuses available, but it doesn't look like he's going to do it. 9 Broodlords are in production. Wow, the Coolman's actually going to give up this base. I'm not sure why. I think he just wants to wait as long as possible. Doesn't want to, you know, overextend his army. I mean, Broodlords are not direct engage units. They are support units, and you don't ever want to think that they can solo this entire army, because you don't know if the STC does have Vikings to back this up, or if he has a huge line of Marines coming after you as well. And oh, is he going to get an explosion? No, it doesn't look like it. STC is going to return back home after doing a lot of damage, taking out this base, and actually still leaving a couple units here. It looks like the Coolman is going to clean this up very, very quickly. There's the scan seeing a lot of the infestors, and is he going to over-engage here? Oh, he didn't explode the Banelings on top of all that. Are you kidding me? Come on. Oh, nice scans actually picking up a lot of the creatures and some of the burrowed Banelings. And now STC has to be a little bit suspicious. There are so many units on the field right now. It looks like STC is going to push the 4th base as well, but the Broodlords are not done, and it looks like they are hovering over this area. Look at this large landmass over the top of the mini-map here. And it looks like, oh my gosh, he might actually lose his 4th here. I don't know what the Coolman's doing, actually giving up this base as well. He cannot actually afford to do so. The medevacs are picking up as many units as possible. And again, it looks like there's a lot of units about to pass over the Banelings. And is STC going to get blown up here? Looks like he's going to walk right on top of it. And oh my gosh, he does not explode them. Coolman making a bit of a mistake here. He actually has another opportunity to do so. And yes, he does. Kills a bunch of units there. Very nicely done. STC's got to be a little bit frustrated here. The last Baneling is going to go down, and now there are so many Broodlords on the field. 9 Broodlords and 9 Infestors. There's a couple of Vikings here, but they're not going to do a whole lot. The Broodlords are opening fire all over everything that the STC has available. There are no drops going on. Oh, excuse me. There's actually one going down here at the bottom, at the center of the Coolman's base. Is it going to do a lot of damage? The Queen does fall, and does he actually have any reinforcements? The entire ground army of Coolman is returning back home. The last few Vikings are still on the field, and oh wow, there's quite a few Infestors dead already. Spawning Pool does go down, and will the Coolman actually rebuild that? It's going to be very, very important here. Oh, throwing more Broodlings at this entire army, cleaning up majority of the Siege Tanks. Siege Tanks cannot do anything. Their guns do not fire upwards, and so now it's going to come down to a couple of Vikings here. Siege Tanks are in siege mode, so you got to be really careful, and it looks like, oh, stimming up the Marines, but they're not going to do anything here. But the Zerglings sure are. They're coming in right now. They're going to terrorize the entire 3rd base. There is a 4th base up for the STC, and there's actually a couple of Vikings just doing a ton of damage from the side here. If he can actually get vision of the high ground, that'd be very, very nice. And it looks like he actually does have vision of it. Looks like the Zerglings are going to stream into the natural now. It looks like the Coolman has had enough. He's going to try and push in here and finish off his opponent. The wall does go up here, and the Coolman's still up 30 supply. Needs to be careful over here. It looks like he's going to take down the wall, and there it is. I think that's going to be it for the STC. Loses his front wall. That's pretty much all that was stopping the Coolman from flooding him was Zerglings. And QuanticStC down to 77 supply, is reproducing as quickly as he possibly can. Reconstructing his army. 2 Vikings are in production, trying to get out as many as they can, but there are no more Broodlords on the field, I don't think. Yeah, it looks like it's just Roaches, Zerglings, and Infestors right now. Couple of Banelings here and there. STC down to 63 supply, has very, very little production going on, trying to retain as much as he can, has quite a bit of medevacs, which will actually be very, very nice to keep. But it doesn't look like the Coolman is going to let up anytime soon. Currently on 5 base. It looks like there was another drop or a Viking or something, but I don't know. But it looks like there are so many Infestors in the field. There are actually still 15 Infestors, which is going to be very, very hard to deal with. Fungling down everything, getting rid of a couple of medevacs here, and there's the fungal, or excuse me, there's a bunch of Infestor eggs thrown down to try and clean up the remainder of the army from the QuanticStC. We are at 23 supply. There's the WW from STC. So Coolman does take the game. Very, very well played on both parts. I'm so glad we got to see one of the Banelings groups go off and take out a ton of the STC's units, but very, very well played on both ends. At least I hope you enjoyed my casting. Of course, I am Jmorrow. If you enjoyed my casting, please let me know by following me on Twitter or on YouTube under Jmorrow Pro, and just leave me a comment or tweet at me anytime, and just let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And also, thank you so much for tuning in.